Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. So, continuing on in my Disney animated movie reviews, this time I'm moving on to The Bare Necessities, aka The Jungle Book. Now, this movie I watched a lot when I was a kid and absolutely loved it a lot as a kid. I mean, the songs just stick with you. The Bare Necessities, I Want to Be Like You, and We Are Friends, and Trust in Me. So, yes, they stick with you as a kid. And they still stick with me to this day as an adult. And I've been rewatching this movie ever since Disney Plus, and I still enjoy it to this day. Absolutely love this movie. I mean, Baloo the bear does everything to be cool with Mowgli. Of course, the plan is this: Mowgli was raised by wolves, and unfortunately, Shere Khan has returned and is now on the search for the hunt of Mowgli because he don't like mankind apparently. So yes, Mowgli then goes off with Bagheera, and Bagheera's quest is to take Mowgli back to the man village where he'll be safe. But along the way, as Mowgli does not want to be back in the man village, loves it too much in the jungle because he was raised in the jungle. Understandable, because yeah, changing new environments is not always easy. I get it. I do. So along the ways, of course, they run into Kaa, and who, by the way, is voiced by Sterling Howard, aka Winnie the Pooh. Because especially the moment where he's like, "Oh, my sinus! You have just made a serious mistake, a very stupid mistake." I mean, that's just what says, "My sinus." Every time I hear that, I mean, as a kid, of course, that always kind of cracked me up. Still kind of cracks me up to this day, but sinus pain is no joke. But just hearing that, just in the tone voice of Winnie the Pooh, I mean, that's just great. And then, so of course, Mowgli foils Kaa's hypnotic stuff on Bagheera. And then, of course, along the way, they run into Colonel Hathi, along with the Elephant Army, and of course, Colonel Hathi's son. And as a result, he becomes friends with him. But of course, Colonel Hathi don't like that because he's not an elephant. So as a result, yep, they disperse more. Mowgli runs off, and along comes Baloo the bear, who just wants to be basically his friend, teaches him the bare necessities, and even wants to take him in like his own son, basically. But of course, along the way, Mowgli gets kidnapped by King Louie's army, basically. And so, yep, Baloo has to seek help from Bagheera. And sure enough, this starts off with, "I want to be like you," and he's asking for a man's red fire. And of course, Mowgli doesn't know anything about that. But then all of a sudden, all chaos goes down as soon as Baloo and Bagheera show up, destroying King Louie's palace, basically. And then, of course, during the night after all that, Bagheera explains why he's taking Mowgli back to the man village. And Baloo finally does understand the point. Even tries to tell Mowgli that. But as a result, Mowgli runs off again. And then he comes into his encounter with Kaa once again. Under his hypnotic spell again. Trust in me. But then eventually, of course, Shere Khan shows up and basically messes up Kaa's coils and all that, which allows Mowgli to get free and, yep, run off. And along the way, as Mowgli runs off, he comes across the vultures, who welcome him with open arms, even singing them, "We are friends, we are friends." I mean, those vultures are funny too. It's like, "What do you want to do?" "I don't know. What do you want to do?" At first, I asked, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I don't know what you want to do. What do you want to do?" I was saying, "Well, let's do something." I agree on this one because this is like everyday stuff. Some people just don't know what they want to do, but other people get really annoyed with that. So yes, I get it. I totally get it. So yeah, after welcoming arms, that's when Shere Khan shows up, finds comes across Mowgli, and Mowgli, of course, has no fear. And of course, Shere Khan explains to him, "Hey, you should fear me." And just as Shere Khan's about to lunge and attack, in comes Baloo just to grab Shere Khan by the tail, and the showdown begins. And as a result, yes, Shere Khan claws him up pretty good. And Mowgli gets a basically a tree branch or whatever that fell down and got knocked down by lightning with fire and ties it to Shere Khan's tail. Look behind you. Like, yeah, it scares him off. So if there's one fear he does have, it's fire. So fire, yep, scares him off and runs off. And of course, Bagheera pretends to do a little speech for Baloo and his bravery, and then Baloo wakes up, pissing off Bagheera. You! It's basically Baloo's. So he felt Baloo was faking his death, basically. So along the ways, they make their way to the man village. And Mowgli is intrigued by a young girl's voice. And he gets hooked. And goes off to the man village while Bagheera and Baloo make their way back to the jungle. So yeah, there you go. Jungle Book, Disney's Jungle Book, animated movie, totally worth it. Totally the best of the Jungle Book era in my book, at least. Because yeah, honestly, the live action one is just nowhere as good. Despite the casting of the live action, but this animated one has pretty good casting as well. Phil Harris, Baloo, aka Little John, and Thomas O'Malley. Always great to hear his voice there. And then you got Sebastian Cabot, Bagheera, Bruce Ratherman as Mowgli. Of course, Sterling Holloway, aka Winnie the Pooh, as Kaa. Always intrigued with him. Then you got Louis Prima, aka King Louie. George Sanders as Shere Khan. And then you got J. Pat O'Malley as Colonel Hathi. And Verna Felton as his wife, Winifred. And then the Vulture is Chad Stewart, Lord Tim Hudson, and Digby Wolf. All great voice talents. These movies would not be possible without the great voice talents. So yeah, there you have it. So thank you very much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Tell me your thoughts on the Jungle Book, Disney's animated Jungle Book. And I look forward to hearing from you all, and I'll be back again soon.